Namaste everyone, this is Swathi, an Indian Vedic astrologer. I would like to first express my gratitude towards all the Indian sages and rishis who have brought the science of Vedic astrology into our lives. I would also like to thank my gurus and teachers for imbibing this knowledge in me. So today I wanted to make an in-depth analysis on Kamala Harris's chart, explaining to you all the different kinds of yogas she has and all the potential. So, as already explained in my previous video, I have no inclination towards any political party or any political leader. My analysis is purely based on the science of Vedic astrology. So, before beginning to analyze her chart, let's understand few concepts in Vedic astrology. So, one is Nichabhang Raj Yoga and the other one is Parivartana Yoga. So, let's start with Nichabhang Raj Yoga. So, what does that mean? So, the phrase itself contains two words, which is Nichabhang and Raj Yoga. So what does Neech means? It's debilitation. So every planet, as you know, has an exaltation sign and as well as a debilitation sign. So when a planet is debilitated, it's very weak. It cannot give its best results. It cannot do any good to that house it is situated in. But this debilitation can be cancelled. There are few rules such as being situated with an exalted planet or being aspected by another planet who is the lord of the house. So there are quite few rules which cancels the debilitation. So when this debilitation is cancelled, it gives rise to a Raj Yoga. So there is not just Nichabhang, which means there is not just debilitation getting cancelled, but there is also an elevation, which is Raj Yoga. So what does Raj Yoga mean? It's like king-like status. So this Nichabhang Raj Yoga means the debilitation is cancelled and it gives rise to a status which is king-like. So that powerful is Nichabhang Raj Yoga. So what are the results of this Nichabhang Raj Yoga? So if you see that a person has a Nichabhang Raj Yoga in their chart, it means the person is going to be very successful. The person is going to overcome all the obstacles and hindrances in their path towards success, and they will have the authority, they will get fame, they will get rise in their career. So there are many benefits of Nichabhang Raj Yoga. So it's a very powerful yoga. And now let's look at Parivartana Yoga. So what does Parivartana Yoga literally mean? It means that a connection between two planets through exchange. I'll give you an example. Suppose Mercury, who is the owner of Jaimini, resides in Libra, and Venus, who is the owner of Libra, resides in Gemini. So Venus is residing in the sign owned by Mercury, and Mercury is residing in the sign owned by Venus. So there is an exchange. So just imagine you go and live in your friend's house and your friend comes and lives in your house. So your friend knows that her house is in your hands and you know that your house is in her hands. So you protect each other's house. So even though you're not living in your own house, you protect that house as if it is your own. You are very comfortable there. You know that your house is being taken care of. You're very comfortable there. So it's the same concept here. So when two planets exchange the signs, they are very comfortable and they are very powerful, and it gives them good source of strength and they give extraordinary results because that's a powerful connection between the two planets happening. So that is the effect of Parivartana Yoga. Now let's see Kamala Harris's chart and analyze. So look at Moon and Mars. As you know, Aries is owned by Mars and Cancer sign is owned by Moon. And in her chart, Moon is situated in Aries and Mars in Cancer. So one of the strongest connection is happening between Moon and Mars here. Also please note that Mars gets debilitated in Cancer sign. But due to this exchange, the debilitation of Mars gets cancelled very effectively, giving rise to also Nichabhang Raj Yoga. So there is not just Parivartana Yoga happening between these two planets, but also they are involved in this Nichabhang Raj Yoga. Now look at Venus and Sun. Sun is in Libra and Venus is in Leo. As you know, Leo is owned by Sun and Libra is owned by Venus. So there is an exchange again happening between Sun and Venus. Sun is also debilitated in Libra. So again the debilitation is successfully cancelled. As already explained you the effects of having one Nichabhang Raj Yoga in the chart. Now you see Kamala has two Nichabhang Raj Yogas and two Parivartana Yogas happening. I don't need to explain the kind of success and career rise this person will see. She will have the authority, leadership, success, all kinds of government favors, and she will overcome all the obstacles and hindrances and come out successfully. Of course, she has to work really hard for this. It won't be an easy win because Nichabhang Raj Yoga is not the straightforward yoga. It gives you a lot of obstacles and lots of opposition, but it makes you work so hard and it makes you overcome them. And then finally, the person sees a great success in their life. And she having these two Nichibhang Raj Yogas is really powerful. Now, having the Nichibhang Raj Yogas are good, but when will they play their part? When the right period of planet is running, which is associated with these planets involved in these yogas, then the Nichibhang Raj Yogas will be activated. So let's see what dasha she is running through. She is running through Rahu mahadasha, and Rahu, I should tell you, is a game changer for her because it is very strong in her chart. Look at the degrees. It's so close to the ascendant degree that it will always fall in ascendant in various divisional charts, especially when we look at D10 for her career. Any planet residing in the ascendant in D10 always gives a great rise to career during that major period or sub-period. So, because Rahu is a shadowy planet, it doesn't have its own nature or quality. So, it gives the results of the constellation, the nakshatra which it is placed in, and also the house it is placed in, or the planets with which it is in conjunct with or getting aspected with. As you can see, Rahu doesn't receive any aspect from any planets on her chart, and neither is in conjunct with any other planet. So Rahu purely gives the results of Mars and Mercury. Mars because it is the nakshatra lord, and Mercury because it is the sign lord. So let's check Mars and Mercury, how they are. As you have already seen, Mars is part of the Nichibhang Raj Yoga, which is activating that Nichibhang Raj Yoga and the Parivartana Yoga in her chart. And Mercury, because it is situated with Sun, and Sun being involved in this Parivartana Yoga and Nichibhang Raj Yoga, is giving the same results. And one more favorable point is that Mercury is placed in 5th house. So the ascendant lord being placed in 5th house is considered very auspicious. So Rahu Mahadasha activates the two Nichibhanga Raj Yogas and the two Parivartana Yogas because of the involvement of Mercury and Mars. For the dynamic potential in general, we also have to check from Dasha Lagna. So the Lagna and the Dasha Lagna become one and the same. So all the static potentials which we see through Lagna gets activated in the Rahu Dasha. That's why Rahu Dasha is really the most powerful Dasha for her and a kind of game changer. Let's also look into the past achievements of her. So she started to see peak success in her career since 2016. So in 2016, she won the elections in the Senate and became the first Indian American and the second Black American woman in the Senate. And in 2021, where she was still running Rahu Mahadasha, she became the first woman vice president of the country. So what does Rahu does? Rahu wants to be the first in everything. Rahu is a kind of planet which gives high self-motivation, makes the person extremely ambitious because Rahu wants to be seen, Rahu wants power, Rahu wants success. It pushes the person a lot to make sure that the person achieves it. In 2016 Senate elections, she won with the margin of less than 1%. So that's where each one of that yoga I explained is coming into effect. So she overcame all the obstacles, hindrances and succeeded. It happened the same in 2021. She overcame lot of opposition, lot of obstacles and finally became the first female vice president of the country. That's what Nichibhanga Raj Yoga does. It gives you obstacles, it gives you hindrances, but it also gives you the power to overcome it and become very successful. I wanted to check what's the Antardasha she was going through when she became the first female vice president. It was Mercury. So as you know, Rahu already gives the results of the beautiful Mercury placed in 5th house, which is Trikona, and Antardasha Mercury emphasizes this more and the main reason why there was great elevation in her career. Now let's see during elections what will be the Antardasha she would be running. She would be running Venus. So under the Rahu major period, she would be running the Venus Antardasha. Again, the same story repeats. Venus is part of the Parivartana Yoga with Sun and also involved in the Nichibhanga Raj Yoga, and especially Venus being the 5th lord is very good. So all the Nichibhanga Raj Yogas are again coming into effect. Venus has an extra source of strength because it's situated in its own nakshatra, Purva Falguni. Please remember in astrology, when a planet is situated either in its own house or in its own constellation or nakshatra, then it is very happy. So it's like you living in your own home makes the person very comfortable and happy, so which will make you give your best. So the same thing is happening. So Venus, because it's situated in its own constellation, own nakshatra, Purva Falguni, it gives very good results. And on top of it, it also receives aspect from the ninth lord of luck, Saturn. Of course, because of the aspect of Saturn, this will also make her really, really work extremely hard to achieve this, and we can see that already happening. We also need to check the Pratyantar Dasha. So in Vimshottari Dasha, we at least check 3 levels of Dashas to analyze a particular event in a person's life. So what is the Pratyantar Dasha she would be running during these elections? It is moon. And as you have already seen, moon is so strong. It's also a full moon. It gets an additional source of strength, and it is placed in 11th house of gains and also involved in the same Parivartana Yoga and Nichabhang Raj Yoga, which we just discussed. And on top of it, I should mention in Shadbala, moon has the highest score. So it's the strongest graha for her. Let's also talk about her luck, because every person, in spite of how much ever hardworking they are, they definitely need some support of luck, without which it is impossible to attain anything in life. So in Vedic astrology, in general, the luck is denoted by the 9th house or the 9th lord. For her, 9th house is Aquarius and 9th lord is Saturn. And see how it is placed in its own house. That makes the person very lucky. So that's how all the luck factor is also favoring her, and that is a static potential. Do you see how everything is aligning to give her the best results? These are the reasons why I feel Kamala Harris's chart is so extraordinary and everything is coming together. But we are not done yet. We have till now only seen Parashari system of astrology. Now let's look at the Jaimini system as well. Let's see what dasha she is running on. So since 2016, she has been running Libra major period. And what is Libra again? It is the 5th house, Trikona, which is very auspicious house, as I already mentioned. And let's see what kind of yogas are forming in that Libra sign. So there are many auspicious karakas aspecting, such as AMK, MK, BK, PK and DK, forming multiple Rajayogas, at least 8 of them, combining all the karakas. Also, Libra receives aspect from its own Lord Venus, boosting it more. Do you see the confluence shown in both the dasha systems, Vimshottari and Chara, where her great career rise starts around 2015-16, the same timeline? So the Rahu mahadasha started in 2012 as per the Vimshottari dasha, and Libra mahadasha started in 2016 as per the Chara dasha system. You see how the confluence is happening and how it is so sure that the entire period of Libra and the entire period of Rahu is going to be very successful. Now let's see during elections which sub-period she is running under the Libra major period. She will be running Leo, which has Amatya Karaka Venus. So remember this clue that whenever you are running through a period of the sign where Amatya Karaka is placed, which is AMK, it gives a boost to your career during that time, elevating your status. So Leo period is also very good for her. So from Vimshottari Dasha system and Jaimini Dasha system, we see that it's a very favorable period for her. The last concept is about transits. Let's see the transits. So as I explained in my previous videos, for any person to attain a really high rise in their career, and especially to become a prime minister or president or head of the nation kind, the transit of Saturn and Jupiter should aspect 5th house or the 5th lord or 9th house or 9th lord. Currently, Saturn is transiting her natal Saturn, which is the 9th lord and is placed in the 9th house, and which is also aspecting the natal Venus, which is the 5th lord. So it is touching both the 5th and 9th. And coming to Jupiter, which is currently in Taurus, it is transiting over natal Jupiter and aspects Venus, which is present in Scorpio. So transits are also favorable. That's it for this video. See you all in the next.